Alrighty, so this is the last part of the 4.3 part 1 notes, and so hopefully you're just watching these in order from top to bottom. But we left off on example 2, and so now we'll go ahead and go through example 2 together, and then do the on your own together as well. So in example 2, we've got that we're being asked to solve 6x is greater than negative 18, and then graph the solution. So just as a reminder, when we're being asked to solve an inequality, what it's telling us is we want to figure out what are all the values that x can equal, that when we plug them in for x will give us values that are greater than negative 18. So we've already had some practice with this. We have a 6x as a multiplication operation, and so in order to get that x by itself, we want to have the number 1 next to it. Because this is 6 times x, we're going to do the inverse operation, and we're going to divide both sides by 6. Dividing both sides by 6 leaves us with 6x divided by 6. 6 divided by 6 is 1, so that's just going to be 1x. It is greater than negative 18 divided by 6, negative 3. The sign stays the same only because we divided by the same positive number. You'll see that when you do the same negative number, the sign just reverses. But in this case, we have x is greater than, or x is all values greater than negative 3. Please write that down. X is all values greater than, that was a horrible R, greater than negative 3. And so if we were to graph that, we would find negative 3. Can negative 3 be x, or can x equal negative 3? Well, no, because negative 3 is not greater than negative 3, so we're going to use an open circle. X is greater than negative 3, goes to the right. That's numbers like negative 2, negative 1, and 0. So pretty straightforward. I think you guys, at this point, you're getting pretty good at this. So if we were to do these on your own, we're going to do them a little quickly. The thing about these on your own is we're going to end up with some halves, or some fractions, I should say. So if I in number 4 have 4b is greater than or equal to 2, this is 4 times b, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to divide by 4 on both sides. 4b divided by 4 leaves me with b is greater than or equal to 2 over 4. 2 divided by 4 is 1/2. Simplifies down to 1/2. And so what I can do then is I can find 1/2 on a number line. B can equal or be greater than 1/2, so I'm going to use a closed circle. And then numbers that are greater than 1/2 go to the right. That includes numbers like 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, or there's even other little numbers in there, little decimal numbers in there that can be greater than 1/2. Same thing for number 5. This is 12 times k. Inverse operation of multiplication is division, so I'm going to divide by 12. 12k divided by 12 leaves me with 1k. Symbol stays the same. And in negative 24, we're going to make sure to also divide that by 12. Negative 24 divided by 12 simplifies down to negative 2. And so k is greater than or equal to negative 2. So you're going to find negative 2. Can k equal negative 2? Yes, k can equal negative 2, so we're going to use a closed circle. And k is all values less than negative 2. Less than negative 2 goes to the left. Voila. Okay, number 6. Let me write this down over here. Let me grab a quick coffee break. Good stuff. Okay, so now the only thing that makes this a little bit more complicated is that we're dividing decimals, because this is negative 15 is less than 2 and 5/10 q, and 2 and 5/10 q, we're going to need to, because that's a multiplication operation, we're going to do the inverse operation, which means that we're going to divide it by 2 and 5/10. Thank you. And dividing that by 2 and 5/10 on the right side means that we also need to divide it by 2 and 5/10 on the left side. Doing so is going to leave me on the right side with q, because 2.5 divided by 2.5 is just 1 q. Symbol stays the same. And then negative 15 divided by 2.5, this is a good time to review how to divide decimals. Remember, top number goes on the inside, bottom number on the outside, 2 and 5/10. but you don't ever want to have a decimal on the outside of the division sign. So what you do is you move the decimal over as many times as you need to turn that into a whole number. And however many times you move that on the outside, you also have to move this decimal here over one time as well. So that's going to turn into 150. And then so the question now is, how many times does 25 go into 150? 6 times. And because it was negative 15 divided by a positive 2.5, it's going to be a negative 6. And then also just bring the decimal up, so that's going to be a whole negative 6. And so I just solved that negative 6 is less than q, or if you read it backwards, q is all values greater than negative 6. Find negative 6 on the number line, open circle, to the right. All right, guys, and that does it for the part 1. Make sure that you do write a summary for your notebook check, just at least 1 or 2 sentences explaining what you learned. Maybe you learned that multiplying both sides of the same positive number does not change the inequality symbol, where negatives are going to be different, even though we haven't talked about it yet. Just writing that down, that negatives, when we learn about them, are going to be different, will give you kind of a heads up, or give your brain a heads up to what to expect.